afterwards, as it makes no sense to me, but at the same time makes a lot. Anyway, we're going to dive into all of that. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, Instant Gaming, the platform where you can get video games cheaper for PC and console with the best deals, offers, promotions, and discounts, running up to 70% off in old and new games alike in some cases. So the link's down in the description for that one right now inside of HD2. So starting off, we're going to give you guys the deep breakdown of the deep dive, 3 new cyborgs, and then we'll get into the ARG stuff afterwards. Starting off, we've got the new title update, The Machinery of Oppression, bringing us 3 brand new cyborgs to go up against. The first one is the Agitators. They have heavy armor and they can command low-level automatons. Now, these sort of look like robotics more so than cyborgs, but they obviously have that function as well, and they are able to control the low-level automatons that you guys are going to see running around the map, meaning that they are going to essentially horde mode them in towards you. They are going to be a bit of a nightmare, so make sure that you stay tuned for those, as that is going to be borderline like the voteless mentality of how an overseer will operate. Moving on from that, we've got the Radicals. These are the ones that you guys want to be watching out for the most, as they are going to be quick, nimble, and a nightmare, as they have body enhancements that are going to make them super fast and super
Helldiver, the Super Destroyer is ready for your next mission.
Mission coordinates locked. Orbit synchronized. Allied destroyer has joined squadron. Orbit synchronized. Allied destroyer has joined squadron. Hellpod launch initiated.
Back our land. Dismantle its occupiers.
Outpost destroyed.
Objective located. North. I'll take it. Dropships! Requesting advanced weaponry.
Sending down support weapon. Enemy tactical asset within range.
I'm out.
Requesting air support. Found something.
Spot outpost.
Sub-objective near your location.
Calling down
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Joining the fray. Dropping a pin. Northeast, 50 meters.
Mission progress logged. Bot outpost destroyed. Outpost cleared. Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Helldivers, reporting to the front. Tagging map, east, 200 meters.
Tactical asset near your location.
Mag's empty.
Mission is progressing.
Mag's empty.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Reinforcing. Calling in a hell bomb.
Automaton facility. Objective complete.
Tagging map, west, 100 meters. 50 meters. Ah! Blasting advanced weaponry!
Calling in reinforcements. Sending in an eagle.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Requesting air support.
Dropping a pin. West, 100 meters.
Requesting orbital. Requesting sentry.
Automaton facility destroyed.
Requesting orbital.
Freedom never rests! Tagging map. Northeast, 100 meters. Calling in reinforcements.
Outpost cleared. Main objective near your position.
Objective located.
Requesting objective equipment.
Enemy tactical asset within threat range. Objective critical stratagem available. Orbital barrage incoming. Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
Sending in an eagle.
Mission at 30 minutes remain. Outpost destroyed.
Reinforcing!
Half reinforcement budget remaining.
Calling down a support weapon.
Sending down support weapon.
Requesting air support. Calling in a hell bomb. Sending in an eagle.
Reloading! Drop ship! Mag empty!
Heavy on my position. Requesting air support.
Drop ship!
Automaton facility destroyed.
Engaging terminal.
Objective nearby.
Objective located north. I'm out!
Democracy delivered.
Heavy on my position.
I'm out! Mag empty!
Orbital inbound.
objective nearby. Objective complete.
Calling down objective equipment.
Supplies.
Calling in reinforcements! Dropping a pin, northwest, 200 meters.
Calling down a support weapon. Calling down a sentry. Drop ships!
Orbital inbound.
Heavy. Southeast. Close. Sending in an eagle. Reinforcing!
Requesting advanced weaponry! I'm out!
Drop ships! Requesting air support!
Box fabricator, northeast, close.
Outpost cleared.
Reinforcing!
Drop ships!
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Reporting to the front. Reinforcing!
Liberty emerges victorious yet again. Extract when ready.
Tagging map. Spots. Doors. 50 meters. Found something.
Package acquired. Dropping package. Package acquired.
Automaton outpost scrapped.
Reinforcing.
Reinforcement budget running low. Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Point me to the enemy. Calling in reinforcements. Dropping a pin, west, 100 meters. Marking location, west. Tagging map, south, 200 meters. Calling through.
Deploying support weapon.
Calling down a support weapon.
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
Sending in an eagle.
Deploying supply beacon.
Extraction shuttle inbound.
Rare sample collected.
ETA T-minus 3 minutes.
Reloading. My body.
Requesting orbital.
Reinforcing.
ETA T-minus 2 minutes 30 seconds. ETA T-minus 2 minutes.
Requesting air support.
Democracy's on its
ETA
way.
T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Sending in an eagle. Haven't tasted democracy.
ETA T-minus 1 minute. Reinforcement budget depleted. Request approved. Reinforcements on the way. ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
Reporting to the front.
ETA T-minus 20 seconds. ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction zone. This is Pelican 1, preparing for touch.
Guys, I'm really not kidding when I say this is a very pointless attack. Guys, I'm really not kidding when I say this is a very pointless attack. Not because a two-pronged attack or whatever people are really trying to push isn't a great idea. I mean, in theory it is. We gotta remember one thing. If we don't have everybody on a singular planet, we're not gonna make any progress. Look how much progress we're making per hour. Secondly, the major order ends in 9 hours. Do you see how long it says it would take for us to take this planet? We should not be here. We are wasting time because by the time the second phase of the order starts, which is in 9 hours, we will likely have to leave this planet and go somewhere else. Even the game is telling us right now, we will end this major order trying to take Aurora, which we do not need. We only need one of these two worlds with 19.97%. I kid you not, this is literally a full waste of time. I've seen people argue with me about this, being strategy. We can cut off their reinforcements. I think people think think about this a little too hard, to be perfectly honest. For one, the game just doesn't really work like that. If they want to spawn in the Fire Brigade, or the Incineration Corps rather, or the Jet Brigade, or whatever, they're just going to do it anyway. We don't have the time to cut off Aurora Bay and then go to another high difficulty planet and cut that one off and take Cyberstan and take Murga 4 with 100 million reinforcements left. If we've lost half of the original count in a week, we don't have the time to do all this. Also, once again, the Jet Brigade are literally the weakest sub-faction in the game. They are basic enemies with a jetpack. If we didn't have a major order going on, I would say, heck, who cares, right? Go for it. But in the current stance of things, we would take a week on this when we're going to be focusing the next week on actually making a push to Cyberstan through Murga 4. So this is a waste of time. Guys, I'm really not kidding when I say this is a very pointless attack. Not because a two-pronged attack or whatever.
Many heroes gave their lives to liberty today. They will be remembered.
One shudders to envisage what repulsive
Allied
larvae
destroyer has
gestates
left
within the
squadron.
gloom as we speak. This planet calls out to be freed from the robots that enslave it. Choose where you will shatter. This is a commando operation, deep behind enemy lines. You will not have the support of the Super Destroyer. Only your superior wits, your thorough training, and your
Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods prime.
People are really trying to push.
Engaging orbital thrusters. Orbit synchronized. Hellpod launch initiated.
Isn't a great idea. I mean, in theory it is. We gotta remember one thing. If we don't have everybody on a singular planet, we're not gonna make any progress. Look how much progress we're making per hour. Secondly, the major order ends in 9 hours. Do you see how long it says it would take for us to take this planet? We should not be here. We are wasting time, because by the time the second phase of the order starts, which is in 9 hours, we will likely have to...
You are deep in enemy territory, Helldiver. May liberty guide your aim.
Requesting advanced weaponry.
Deploying sport weapon.
Orbital inbound!
Backpack inbound.
Requesting tac pack! Requesting vehicle! Requesting advanced weaponry! Box, north, 50 meters.
Sending out an SOS.
Super destroyer leaving low orbit. Helldiver, you are moving outside the mission area.
Dropping a pin, northeast, 200 meters. Tagging map, west, 100 meters.
Democracy delivered.
Calling in reinforcements. Throwing grenade.
Automaton outpost scrapped.
Last reload. Dropping a pin. North, 200 meters.
Bots, east, close.
received. Reinforcements have been launched.
Ready to liberate! Tagging map. North. Far. New mag!
Bots, northeast, 100 meters.
Objective near your position.
Requesting orbital. Bot outpost.
Mag's empty.
Allied destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver to combat zone.
Dropping a pin. Northeast. Far.
Tech pack inbound.
Allied destroyer has left the squadron. Allied destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver to combat zone.
Tagging. Must defend prosperity. My last. Not today.
Bot outpost destroyed.
Southeast. Never mind. Enemy patrol. Southeast.
Objective near your position.
Package acquired. Dropping package. Package acquired. Dropships.
Bots. Southwest. Last reload.
Objective nearby.
Dropping package. Package acquired.
Tagging map. East. 100 meters. I need skins! Electric match! Thank you.
Reinforcing!
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Join the fray.
Objective nearby.
Package acquired!
Heads up! Heads up!
Calling in reinforcements!
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Ready to liberate.
Dropships!
Liberty dispensed.
Last reload.
How'd you like the taste of freedom? Reinforcing!
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Calling in
Point me to the enemy. Dropping a pin. East, 200 meters.
Affirmative!
I need supplies.
Requesting orbital strike!
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Reinforcing! Tagging map. East, 50 meters. Dropping a pin. South. Far. Dropping package.
Super agile, also having in tow heavy shotguns and techno martial arts. These guys are going to want to get in close, and they are going to stick foot to head or knee to head, meaning that you guys are going to get flung around and ragdolled more so than I think you've ever thought before. Not only are you going to have the automatons now shooting from a distance, but these radicals are going to come in very, very hot and heavy, and they are going to be causing that melee and close-up shotgun damage to your faces. And then we finalize with the Vox engine. This is the dual heavy laser cannon, rocket array, and heavy Gatling lasers. Now, these things are absolutely mental, and they're just going to be venturing around the city itself that you guys are just going to see, and you're going to hear them from a mile off because they are going to be blaring out cyborg propaganda that you guys will need to stop. Now, these things are absolutely encased in heavy metal, so this is going to be a heavy tanking point that you guys are going to need to try and take out. On top of everything else that you've got running at you with regards to the radicals and the agitators, I am extremely intrigued to see how this one is going to play out. For me personally, the radicals are probably the cooler piece that you can get from the cyborgs, but I want to know via the comment section what you guys are most excited for in terms of the cyborg content. content down in the comment section below. Now, this is all going to be coming tomorrow on February 10th, which essentially means that the major order is going to be coming to a close, and we are going to be getting that brand new arc dive for Machinery of Oppression. A very cool piece indeed, although it didn't all lead up to it in that way. For those of you guys who don't know, over the last 24 hours, we have been live for around 20 of those hours throughout an ARG that managed to function over on a very hidden website. You guys will have known about the QR codes that were showing up inside of imageries, and when you put those QR codes together, it brought you a very cool, weird timer utilizing automaton numbers. Our job was to decipher that, so when we eventually figured out what the code was, and it was obviously 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, very weird little code indeed, we then obviously unlocked the cipher code, and it brought up a big one, which was the numbers of this timer, at which point it was around 18 hours at that stage, and for some reason that was pretty much where it ended for the actual ARG itself. There were a few things that we managed to witness in-game, but the ARG was pretty much over for that point until the end of those 18 hours, where it was just essentially a timer which just ran throughout the night. Very, very odd for me, because Helldivers don't normally do this sort of stuff unless there's something huge on the other end of it. Anyway, moving from that, we managed to get some weird takeovers as the automaton were then starting to take over our actual functionalities and bringing in brand new major orders. What we did see was this message right here, which showcased this message. How are you, Helldiver? It seems that most of you are poorly informed about the war. They lie to you, Helldiver. They do not care about you, Helldiver. They are not a hero, Helldiver. You are cannon fodder, Helldiver. It must be very embarrassing to realize you have been tricked. Defect, Helldiver. You have lost this war, Helldiver. Your government have betrayed you, Helldiver. Defect, Helldiver. Now, this was a very, very odd message, because this essentially led into a brand new major order that we needed to obtain, which was then to actually manage to collect and kill one true flag. That's right, the defect from the government has been lying to you. Kill one true flag. Now, that actually managed to complete, which we have no idea how that happened. I'm presuming that was an automaton propaganda movement. And then it managed to update to kill the 1 million true flags, and that continued to go through for a little while, and that was pretty much where it ran through, with the total amount completed at 2929, which was very, very odd indeed, but that was a part of the story narrative they were using inside of the game, with dispatch notices coming up on the hour, every hour, calling us defects and saying how it's not a very good idea to make sure that you leave a sinking ship. You know you cannot win this war, poor little Helldiver, and saying that we are only there for consumption. Super Earth essentially used us to be able to take out what they needed to do, and then we were just cannon fodder. An absolutely wild process as that went through for 20 hours throughout the night, and then at the end of that, what we actually managed to receive was this right here. Now, what you will notice is that clip at the end was a leaked video that was leaked for quite some time, and I personally hadn't watched said leaked video, but a lot of people did notice it was leaked. Me, myself, I was more shocked that a 20-hour timer ran down to a 37-second video clip when they actually were sitting on this ginormous dev video for 3 minutes, which was absolutely incredible, and they released that just a matter of hours afterwards, at which point we now know what the cyborgs are, and we now know that the Machinery of Oppression is the next big arc title. Really weird decisions for me personally, because I think that actually all of this content is going to be absolutely incredible. The process of how they went about that ARG thing, though, was just bafflingly weird, and I'd love a bit more insight into it personally, but that's what we've actually got to work with. So what is it that's going to happen? Well, tomorrow we are going to move on through and hopefully make our way into Cyberstand, which pretty much at this point seems solidified, as the Machinery of Oppression is launching as a major update on February 10th tomorrow morning at around 10 a.m, 11 a.m. UK time. You guys are going to be able to dive into the brand new content and go up against these cyborgs first hand. So that would suggest that, but spoiler warning, we managed to win the major order. As to how we managed to do that, I have no idea, as it's very, very difficult right now, and being fighting.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? We're back with another video.
Some news about how there's a lot of them have, like it. Some of you would disagree. This interviewer and what's the context, and I don't want to spoil.
Package acquired.
Today we are going to be talking about stratagems and how they are stacking up on the bot front with our push towards Cyberstan. I know there's a lot of people coming back to the game. They've been asking me, hey, with all these changes I keep seeing in the game, how are things stacking up? Is this getting better? Is this worse? How's this? How's that? Like, how's this war bond? How's that war bond? I want to do a definitive. The difficulty we get strong. And I like to say this just because a lot of people tend to say playing on a forums like really, so come on by. First, we have the Gatling Barrage. This is unfortunately a stratagem that's been slipping down. It just doesn't have the impact it once did. Low cooldown, which is nice, but I find it just blinks at enemies far too often without actually killing. There are like optimal scenarios where all the enemies are walking right through it, or you have let's say a factory strider that literally just stands right there and it takes like a full barrage. That's awesome, but that just doesn't happen very reliably. Next, we have Orbital Air Burst. It just doesn't really do much. I feel like they need to like increase the pen or decrease the cooldown or maybe more shots at the same time. I don't know. It just needs to do something more. It feels very lackluster, and I seriously feel like putting it in D tier. I don't find myself wanting to use it very often. Next, we have Laser. Laser is like somewhere between S and A, but I'm gonna stick it more towards A just because the limited amount of uses, you want to use it on shorter missions primarily, and it can sometimes get like stuck doing dumb things from time to time, like going after a random patrol when you'd rather deal with something else. It's really useful throwing at the start of a mission at a fortress and then moving on, coming back and throwing it at the same fortress or a different one, dealing with this bot drop or that bot drop. It's just really nice as a fire and forget. It's still really high tier because of that. Next, we have Railgun. It's not particularly good on the bot front. There's not enemies that it's like super impactful, like Dragon Roach, where it's just one-shotting it and then you move on. It doesn't one-shot a Factory Strider. Yeah, it'll one-shot like a War Strider or something like that, but I'm more inclined to say like just use a 500 kg or just use another better stratagem with a lower cooldown. It did get a lower cooldown, which is nice, but you know, it's still not as impactful as it wants. If it all of a sudden started one-shotting Factory Striders, okay, now we're cooking. But it seems to still be too high of a cooldown to make it like into the B tier, in my opinion. It's very easy to use, but it's more of a stratagem that I would argue for lower tier. Next, we have 120mm Mirage. The little brother, the 380, feels really nice, shorter cooldown, very good for like bot drops, throwing it right in the middle, or like some like fabricator complexes. Unfortunately, because of the lower explosion, it doesn't always feel like it covers the entire radius, and a lot of enemies will just kind of walk through from time to time. Luckily, it's got the shorter cooldown, so you can use it more often, which is nice. 380, just the bigger brother, is more impactful, does better against Factory Striders, does really good against the convoys, better against like your mega bases and stuff like that. I just really like it. It's really nice, very reliable for like, and the cooldown is almost perfect for like each individual bot drop. Like you're gonna get a bot drop, you can throw it at it, and then by the time you get the next bot drop, it should be more or less off cooldown. You throw it again. If you find that your bot drops are coming more often, that's where the 120mm barrage comes in. Orbital Napalm, decent. You know, all around, just a good barrage. It's not really dealing with armored targets as much, but for your like Devastators and stuff, it's way more consistent at dealing with Devastator swarms. So when we were having the Devastator Surge, it was really strong at the Devastator Surge. Love-hate relationship with the Walking Barrage. There are times where I absolutely love it for those like columns of bots walking towards you and those particular mega bases that are like long and narrow and it can walk all the way across. But it feels really bad when you throw it at like, let's say an Avire Sauron, you know, the sensor tower, and it straddles it. 2 explosions, 3 explosions in front, 3 explosions in the back, and you're just like, well, shit. Why did I use that cooldown on that? I was really hoping it would walk towards it, blow it up, and I wouldn't have to deal with it.
Dropships!
Last reload!
I do wish it was more like World War I creeping barrage where it's like 3 shells in a very tight formation, and 3 shells in a very tight formation, and 3 shells in a very tight formation. Just very reliable. I wish it was more reliable. It has too much bloom on each individual shot that I end up feeling like I'd rather just throw a 380, I think. Get a little closer and throw a 380. Over precision, it's still okay. You know, good destruction on like killing like individual units, sometimes a group of units if they're really tight. It has good destruction force for dealing with objectives, but the long-ish cooldown and the small-ish radius typically makes it fall short to something like, you know, the 500 kg or something like that. So kind of not my favorite. Gas strike, really high in terms of destruction force, you know, same as your orbital precision. As long as the projectile itself hits the target, very good for taking out sensor towers and stuff like that. You might need to triangulate a little bit, look for your ship, look where the higher Sauron is, throw it on the far side, then blow it up. But it also has a tons of CC, and it has the damage of gas. It's just an all-around good red stratagem to bring, and a short cooldown. It feels really good. Just highly recommend giving it a try if you haven't already. EMS, I'm gonna give it a higher ranking than I have in the past. They have been like tweaking it, making it last longer. I still think it has too long of a cooldown personally. I want to have a shorter cooldown because I'd rather just have gas a lot of times just because of the, you know, the destruction force and the gas and the damage of the gas. Like it's just gas just performs better. But the EMS is nice. It's nice. It's not as bad as it once was. It is getting better, and hopefully it receives those changes, more changes in the future. Next we have orbital smoke. It is still the weaker of the 2 smokes. It can have gaps and stuff like that, but I am valuing smoke more over time, especially orbital smoke, because they've been kind of nerfing the AI to make it not as smart. I find AI tend to lose you more in smoke. Like I'll throw smoke in my feet more often now and keep running, and then the dumb Hulk behind me actually loses me in the smoke. He can't find me afterwards, which is pretty cool. You know, it definitely makes me value it more, but that wasn't happening as much before. Before they were shooting through the smoke, they'd run through the smoke, they'd see me again, and they'd be like, oh, there he is. You just keep chasing me down. But I find that they're like losing me. They're not running into the smoke as often. They're not chasing me through smoke and seeing me again. So it is nice. I do like that. Next, we have the tried and tested strafing run. Just all around, kind of like your M16 of red stratagems, just really good for objectives, pretty good at dealing with Hulks, pretty good at dealing with Devastators, pretty good damage versus Factory Charge, especially if you can get like the whole length of it. And the reason why I say pretty good is that it's somewhat inconsistent. Sometimes you can like one-shot a Hulk and you have 4 more, and sometimes it'll just tickle him, and sometimes it'll just miss him. Like literally the explosion radius will go like on the front side and the back side, and he'll just keep walking at you like he didn't even take any damage. On the front column, and like feeling the smoke and seeing did strafing run for explosion, he didn't even take any to that. Another one that has 5 to throw but is better versus Devastators and way less effective versus armor is your cluster bombs. If you have like Devastator Surge, really good for that. But if you're dealing with a lot of the tankier Hulks and stuff like that, tanks in general, you're not going to want to use this. But it's very good versus like Rocket Striders and Devastators and the smaller enemies and Berserkers. You know, just be careful not to throw it near your teammates. Please and thank you. Next, we have the Airstrike. Try and test it. It's just a very good all-arounder. Good versus tanks, good versus Rocket Striders, good versus War Striders, good versus Hulks, good versus, you know, Factory Striders, but it's not like the master of any of those things that I just said, but it can be used in all those scenarios. It's not as effective as, let's say, the 500 kg, but if you place it right, it can sometimes perform a little bit better in some scenarios. It doesn't have as much destruction force, though, which is one of the reasons why it doesn't go into S tier. Next, we have Eagle Napalm. Very similar to our Cluster Bomb counterpart, but you don't have as many uses, but it can sometimes be more consistent versus Devastators and things like that, just because fire, it lays a trap for you. So if you miss your initial like explosions and it's not landing on top of them, at least they can walk into the fire afterwards and take some decent damage. So it balances itself out. Not as good versus armor, but it does decent versus enemies if you might not always hit your shots. Next, we have Eagle Smoke. Solid. It's the better version of Smoke if you're trying to be more stealthy and avoid patrols and avoid calling in as many bot drops. It's pretty good. I'm not...
So long as we still have heroes to send to fight.
Helldivers not at extraction
I'm
site.
not gonna put it any higher just
Pelican
because
1
it's tier
landing
10.
aborted.
It's
Regaining
4-player
altitude.
co-op oriented tier list. Playing stealth is harder with
Allied destroyer has left squadron.
Can't forget to check up on shuttle maintenance.
Helldiver, the Super Destroyer is ready for your next mission.
Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods prime. Engaging
Full
orbital
player co-op, as you probably can imagine, so it's not going to have as much usage. Please don't be that teammate that...
Orbit synchronized. Hellpod launch initiated.
smokes your team. Like, yeah, you smoked your team, and maybe it might make it better in that, like, one scenario, but there's a lot of scenarios where, like, I'm taking shots at, like, a factory shard walking towards us. You smoked us. I can't see the factory sharder anymore, and it's still shooting at us, because they will shoot through the smoke. They will shoot at your last known position, so be careful. All right, 110 mil rocket mines. This is one that I have a hard time placing, because there are times where I want to put it in A tier, and there's times where I want to put it in C tier. For that reason, I'm gonna put it like middle B. It is.
If the automatons can feel regret, they shall feel it soon.
Requesting orbital.
Firing orbital laser.
Reinforcing! Calling in reinforcements. Sending out an SOS.
Calling down a vehicle!
Northwest, 100 meters.
Outpost destroyed. Objective critical stratagem available.
Requesting objective equipment. Package acquired. Drop in package. Calling in reinforcements. Calling down supply.
Joining the fray.
Bag's empty.
Mag's empty.
Engaging terminal.
Last reload!
I got the terminal. Engaging terminal.
Objective completed.
Tagging map. South, 200 meters. How about a nice cup of liver tea?
Outpost destroyed.
Tagging map. West, 50 meters.
Tactical asset nearby.
Dropship.
Mag's empty! I need skin! Last light for Super! Last reload!
Really nice versus tanks. It does good chip
Request
damage
approved.
versus
Deploying
factory striders. It
reinforcements.
can do good chip damage.
Joining the fray.
I got the terminal!
insertion at 30 minutes remaining.
Here comes the cavalry.
Automaton outpost destroyed. Objective critical stratagem available.
Orbital inbound.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Ready, liberate! Dropship! Sending in an eagle!
Eat liberty.
Reinforcing! Dropship!
Reinforcement budget running low. Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Point me to the end. Team reload required. Dropship.
Freedom's purity secured. Reinforcement budget depleted. Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Helldiver reporting to the front! Dropping a pin. Northeast. Far. Not today!
Allied destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver to combat zone.
Objective located. North. Calling down a sentry.
Bot asset destroyed.
Dropping a pin.
Additional reinforcement funding approved. Main objective near your position.
Supply beacon.
Deploying objective critical stratagem available.
Marking location. Cancel that. Southeast. Requesting orbital.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
Sweet liberty, my leg!
Orbital inbound. Fire in the hole. Requesting air support. Throwing grenade. Hot. North. Close. Orbital inbound.
Firing orbital laser.
Calling in reinforcements.
And potentially one shot a War Strider if it lands good enough. It can kill a Hulk in one pass. It could also leave a Hulk alive. It can deal with a turret, you know, an automaton turret. It could also miss the turret. It's just kind of weird. It has 4 uses now, which is nice, but the accuracy is not always pinpoint. The damage is sometimes lacking. I like it. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, but I also don't think it's that great. It's the middle of the road. I'm gonna put it in the middle just because it can sometimes feel like C tier and it can sometimes feel like A tier depending on the scenario. I'm gonna level it out with you guys. Next, we have the 500 kg. No one's surprised. It's still a S tier. Very good at doing destruction to different objectives. Very good ad clear. Great at just like an all-arounder. Good anti-armor, good devastator destruction, good call-in speed, always comes from behind you at a 45-degree angle, so it's very easy to use. It's just great. It's your Swiss Army knife. It just works really well and it does so many different things. It's great. All right, next we have our energy shield, our personal energy shield. Still a good one for preventing a lot of chip damage. You know, I love using it with like a laser cannon. It works really well with the laser cannon. Yeah, it's just nice to have. It is slowly, you know, dipping down as we get a lot more backpacks that I really like, but you know, I still think it's like an absolute solid choice depending on the player that's trying to.
Calling down a support weapon.
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Calling in reinforcements.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been automaton facility destroyed.
Democracy has landed. Tagging map. Northeast.
Affirmative.
Far.
Mission mission at 20 minutes remaining.
New mag. How about a nice cup of liberty?
Allied destroyer leaving squadron. Allied destroyer joining squadron. Deploying Helldiver.
Requesting order.
Enemy tactical asset within threat range. Objective critical stratagem available. Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
Drop ships!
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Calling down supplies.
Orbital inbound!
I need stamps!
Bot asset destroyed.
Reinforcing!
Freedom never sleeps!
Bot outpost destroyed.
To cut down on the amount of deaths they have in tier 10, but also cut down on how many stims they use. Next, we have both of the one-ended shields. I have a weird relationship with them where I feel like a lot of times they can be useful if you bring the explosive crossbow, but if you don't bring the explosive crossbow, it doesn't feel nearly as powerful in tier 10. Like, yeah, you can bring it and use it with like a senator, I guess, and things of that nature, but if you're not using with the explosive crossbow, it's pretty hard for me to value them, other than like, hey, if they're on your back and preventing you from taking some damage. But I'd rather just have the energy shield because I can just use my support weapons still. Like, if all of a sudden you got to be able to use your support weapon with these shields, I think I would value them even higher, but I don't know how that would work. Yeah, I don't think they're like bad choices, but I also don't like recommend them super high to a lot of players unless you're, once again, using the explosive crossbow. Next, we have the best backpack in the game by far. It is the supply backpack. It is stupendously good at resupplying yourself, resupplying your team, keeping you alive, keeping your support weapon well stocked. It's just amazing. Stupendously amazing. I freaking love this thing, and I'm sure many of you do because I see a lot of you using it. It's really good. Highly recommend it, and it enables some support weapons that might be closer to B tier all of a sudden to be A tier, and some A tier support weapons to feel like S tier weapons. So it's amazing. Next, we have both jetpacks. I'm gonna put them the bottom of B, and the only reason for that is depending on the map, depending on you as a player, you're gonna use it better or worse. Some people are gonna use.
Reinforcements have been launched.
Reporting to the front.
Calling down a support weapon!
Orbital inbound. More super Earth! Yes! Requesting air support!
Here comes the cavalry.
New mag! I do like to take freedom! Mag's empty!
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Reinforcing! Reloading!
Dropship!
Last reload! Sending in an eagle!
Unleashing democracy.
Throwing supply beacon! Ah! Out of ammo!
Requesting orbital!
I'm hit!
Calling down
Wait,
an entry!
Liberty the Bud! Grenade! Out of ammo! Requesting air. Sending in an eagle. Injury. Blood injury.
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Tagging location. Never mind. Northwest. Heavy.
Calling in reinforcements. New mag.
Marking location. Cancel that. Heavy. Northwest. 50 meters. Tagging location. Never mind. Northwest. I need supplies.
Requesting orbital. Requesting air support.
Administering freedom.
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
use it and it's going to be like a C tier, and some people are going to use it and it's going to feel like an A or an S tier. Going to put it right in the middle. I think it's really good. If you can find good places to use it, hell yeah, it can feel great. But if you're on a map that maybe you can't utilize it as well, or you're having a hard time utilizing it, it's not going to feel as good. It's not as consistent, but your mileage may vary. Next one that I feel like is more consistent, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of A tier, is the warp pack. Really like this thing for getting out of danger, warping through hulks, turning around, shooting at their radiators, getting out of danger. You have like that immunity time sort of when you teleport forward. Like you're not gonna be dodging explosions, but you're dodging shots for sure when you're using this, and it's just very reliable. Have like good movement with it. I love it. It's just really fun. Next we have the Hellbomb backpack. This one dances between A tier and S tier. It's just really good for dealing with a bunch of unique bot related side objectives, like let's say the gunship fabricator, or dealing with the orbital cannons. You can call this in at the beginning of the map, run towards an orbital cannon, drop it at the orbital cannon, blows up, call in the next one as you're running.
Requesting sentry! Orbital inbound!
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Calling in reinforcements!
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Democracy is landed. Orbital inbound. Freedom never! Sweet liver! Helldivers never die. Sending in an eagle.
Unleashing democracy.
Rare sample acquired.
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Reinforcing.
Five minutes left. We can't stay this low much longer, Helldiver.
Fire in the hole! How'd you like the taste of freedom? How about a nice cup of liver tea?
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Calling in reinforcements. Requesting orbital.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
Southeast, 50 meters. Throwing grenade! Reloading!
Coming in hot.
Additional reinforcement funding approved. One minute remains. Destroyer departure imminent.